Okay, I'm on my way to go have some labs done, and some blood tests and some one of those tests, echo, I think. What's that noise? Okay, that noise was somebody's stereo in their whatever they're driving. I don't know who it was, but it was so bass, so whatever it has to be. It felt like it was making my heart beat funny. Seriously, I mean, I've felt that before. I don't know how to describe it right. But no, man, that was awful. So deep, so loud. I don't know what you say. Boy, there's a lot of traffic. It's 2:06 p.m. Wasn't definitely not expecting this traffic. Anyway, and I gotta go way down this road here. So, oh, now I'm getting over. You're gonna get over too. I got it. But anyway, I gotta go take these tests, and I kind of wonder because I was in the. I went to the hospital ER. When was it? It wasn't last week. It was the week before. And the doctor had ordered these. This doctor had ordered these tests from almost a month ago. And I wonder, should they take all of them again? Will it be again? And who's monitoring that? And so I don't wind up having to pay for all these tests, cash. My insurance is really good. To tell you the truth, they pay for basically everything. And my health insurance, which, I've said the reason I do the job that I do is to get the insurance. And it's really nice insurance. So I just want to make sure they say, well, you just had those tested. And they didn't justify why they have to do them again. Stuff like that gets all messed up. So I'm going to ask them. I have to remember to ask them when I get in there. Say, hey, I just was at the ER. But every time I go to a different doctor or whenever, or return to a doctor, but when I go to a new one, they say, well, they always want their own test. Do you really need your own test? And it hasn't even been 2 weeks. I have questions like that. But I wasn't expecting the traffic, and I wasn't expecting the weather either. Look at this. Anyway, and I had it all in my planner, and I also have, which appointments and everything I have. I'm going to mention this, and also on my alarms, because I put in there what time I need to leave. So the alarm goes off to remind me that I need to leave to go, to this appointment. And but like I said, I put them in my planner. I bought a planner just for this, and have so many appointments, man. It's unbelievable. And anyway, because it's another month starting up, I didn't realize the same week I have another appointment. I don't like doing 2 appointments in a week, but this one I had actually knew that I was going to, but because of the way the planner, I haven't turned the page, and my alarm, I just kind of ignored that one. And the alarm hasn't gone off. I just ignore that it's there, because I plug it in. And then I think the next week, or that would be next week, or the week after, I have 2 also. One of them I'm thinking about canceling. It's a podiatrist, and she just, I don't know. It's like, does she purposefully try to rub people the wrong way? Or she tries to, I don't know, she's a podiatrist. And it's like, because she said something to me like, that my insurance might not pay for it. Well, I went there because both of my big toes had a problem, different problems. One of them, the dogs stepped on, and I kept doing it. When we first got that, the dog that just passed away weeks ago. We first got him, we had already had the other one, and they both kept stepping on my toe, on my left big toe. I don't know why it was such a thing for a short while there, and they wouldn't give me enough time to jump away. You know what I'm saying? When they would go outside, I'd open up the door and bam, they both hit my toe. It was weird. But that caused a problem. And the other one, I was at a grocery store and the brake on the shopping cart fell as I was walking and right on my toe. Oh, man, that was bad. That was black. And anyway, when I went to her the first time was a year and a half before, and the second time, before the second time, was a year and a half or so. And she just told me I would have to wait on that, about that toe. Well, then when I asked for a referral, the doctor gave me this referral to her again. I went, okay, whatever. I'll go ahead and do it. But I don't know. I mean, how much do I need a podiatrist? But anyway, she told me, I don't think that's when I was having all these problems, these other problems, as I was diagnosed with something else. And I could not cut my own toenails, and I told her when I went there the second time, and she said, well, I don't think your insurance is going to pay for that. Maybe she thinks she's too high up there to actually be the person to, okay, I'm already in this lane. You know, the person to actually clip somebody's nails or something. But I didn't ask her to, but I told her that she has somebody that can do it. But I said, I want to see what was going on with these toes. How is it? That was my purpose, was to see these big toes and see, what can she do? What does she think is going to have to happen? All that. One of my sisters had something wrong with one of her toes, and they took the toenail completely off. So, and it did not grow back. And that's what I was wanting to avoid. And, things change, so. And I still have both of my toes. She said, oh, one's already starting to grow, so. Okay. But anyway, that's what I was focused on. And she, I guess, thought that I was talking about her cutting my toenails, and like she was throwing a conniption fit. Nice, she was nice. I mean, not nice, but professional. But still, I could tell, like she felt she was above that. And she told me she goes to go to one of these places and have them do your toes for pedicure. Well, I did that one time in my life once, and I almost lost a toe because the person, I guess, she got distracted while she was, using those, what do they call it? They're like sand or something on my toe, and she cut the toe. And it was not good. Okay. Anyway, as far as the rest, there was one doctor, one specialist. When I say doctor, I should say specialist, that I need to see. And I made the appointment in December. And this guy is so busy. It was a referral from my regular PCP. And he said he's really good and all this. And they said that the first available was 5 months out. 5 months. So my first time, I made it in December. First time to see him actually isn't going to be until the end of next month, into May. So, of course. And I'm like, and that doctor, that specialist, that kind of specialist, is the one that usually causes me so much problem because they don't want to deal with my rare health condition. So it's going to be really bad if that one does the same thing. They throw temper tantrums. I'm serious. I'm just sitting there going like, whoa. The first time 25 years ago. And the hospital had referred me 25 years ago. And the woman walked in, the specialist, and oh my goodness, she threw a temper tantrum. Didn't say, I did not know her. She did not know me. First visit, first time I was being clued in with what was on the CTs and all that, and she just went bonkers, throwing a temper tantrum. I'm like, oh my goodness, and that was my introduction, and it hasn't really changed since then. Okay, I'm glad I did that switched to the GPS on my cell phone, but instead of continuing video, because just like the last time this will be my third time, I didn't realize it was so close to where I was at that time, because I keep thinking it's way, way, way down there. It is in comparison, but to some places. But anyway, I do it like this when I get here because I don't want anybody knowing where I'm going. I've been online too long. I had my first computer in 1982. So anyway, I'm gonna go in there. They're pretty good. You go in there and then they to do tests and stuff. I don't know about the one of them. The blood test, it's like you done and over, and they don't care. They don't make you wait until the exact time of your appointment. If you're there early, okay. That's what it was. I'm always early when I go somewhere, but usually, pretty much every time, I cannot remember when I was late on something. Watch that happen now. It said it, but usually. But this place here, I finally asked last time. I mean, that was the second time. But I walk in, anybody walks in, and you can even smell it outside. It's a big place, and lots of people, because it has, and they're expanding it. It's practically like, it's, I don't know, I guess, how would I put it? It's the big place for them, for people running tests and all these different kinds of tests that they don't want to go to a hospital to do. They just go there, I guess. I don't really know, but it's huge. And walking into it, it's really beautiful, really nice. Beautiful as far as, that. But it's nice, new, all this stuff. They're still working on it, building more offices and stuff like that. And but it stinks. Seriously, walking, it smells like body odor, really does. So the first time I was like, whoa. Second time I was thinking, okay, maybe I won't smell it. Maybe it was, something special last time. I don't know what would cause it to be that big open place. All of a sudden, big open place smells like body odor. So something that all of a sudden would cause that? No. I mean, it wasn't summer, and they have air conditioning, so no. Second time I walked in, I went, okay, that's it. I'm going to ask. And I asked the woman that, takes you go and check in with and everything. Pay what you need to if you need to pay anything. And she said, what smell? And I'm like, She's young. I'm like, you can't smell that. You never smell that right. And she said, oh, some people do complain about an odor, but it's the wood up there. And she showed me at the top of like columns, and there's some wood. I'm thinking, who would design something like that and put that kind of wood knowing that it's going to stink? Stink bad? Who would do that? So, and then when I went in there, then I had to come back out, and it was a long walk to come back out. I mean, seriously long walk. And when I came back around the front of the building, because I was all the way in the back of the building, and then I had to come all the way back to the front, and it didn't seem like it was that far whenever I went in. But then I was standing. That's before I went to the hospital. Well, no, that's after. And I have a hard time, I'm trying to build up. After that was in the ER. It was two times ago. And they just said I had heart failure. They didn't call it congestive heart failure. And the cardiologist said that it was more of a warning for me. And why are you honking at somebody? And so did the cardiologist I followed up with. Said the same thing. It's a warning for me. But I was so out of breath, so difficult. So I had to stop and just stand there before I could get to my SUV. And when I did, I could smell that stuff coming out the door. Okay, I mean, like I was saying, this is a big place. It's not something like, You know, you go in, I've never seen any place this big, let me put it that way. The waiting room is open, and that part is so huge too. And that's where it is. It's where it sinks, is the waiting area. Never seen one that big, and I've seen some big ones. This is Texas. So, anyway, I'm going to go in there and see if they'll let me get this early. Okay. Oh my goodness, that took a long while. Yeah. Well, I'm out of breath from walking back. At least this time they didn't have me go around the whole freaking building. That was rough, that last time. But, anyway, I have bandages on both of my elbows. Let's just put it all the way around. From blood test, and then the other one was an injection. So they could see my heart. I looked at my heart, and I didn't watch it the whole time. It was very difficult to stay on that bed without, I was worried I was going to roll off of it. Didn't have anything to keep me from that, and it's not an easy test. The echo, what is it called? Echo whatever. It's not an easy test. They check the heart. It's like a echogram, I don't know, cardiogram, I don't know. But the way they describe it is it's like when they test for babies. And the guy, he was pretty funny. He said, so what do you think, a boy or a girl? I guess it's his standard joke. Come on, let's go. And I thought it was funny, but at the end of it, I saw, what was left on the screen, the last image he took. It did look like a child. I'm serious. I mean, it was my heart. But the image, what he caught, looked like a child. Looked like a demon child. I'm serious. That's what it looked like. I was like, wow. But from what he said afterwards, it seemed like I'm not to have to worry too much. And then watch me say that, and then because he told me, he said he can diagnose himself, but he just, during while we're talking, because I asked him stuff like, how long do you have to go to school for this? And I always ask that. It's kind of, not always, I like finding out stuff like that from people that work in different fields in medical. How long do they have to go to school to attend university and whatever program it is. And he got his in a different country, and his took longer than here in the United States. So, but anyway, it was rough, because not just because that, but because like the physical therapist, she said it's she can't diagnose, but she said that some of the symptoms I'd had. I'm not doing physical therapy right now, but I was until 2 weeks ago or something. And she was saying that it seems like I have the symptoms of bursitis. I said, funny you said that, because I've had bursitis before, but that was back in my 20s. I'm 61 now. And, but, it can come back. It can be there again. And so I have that, and my hip, that side of my hip hurts. Okay, I had to stop for that school zone. But anyway, that hip, that hip, the left hip hurts. I can't even sleep on it at night on a bed. And this is one of those hard, things, the tables. Yeah. And it took like, my goodness, 45 minutes or something. I don't know how long. 30, 45 minutes. And plus, I've been having this backache, this terrible backache. And I wasn't even thinking about all this. I could have called and told them we're going to have to cancel it for another week because of my backache. And, the backache, the hip is not going to suddenly go away. So, But I got that over with. Plus, then he was asking me if I wanted to do it with dye. He let me, think about it and all that. But it did worry me because he said, he said hardly anybody is ever allergic to it. But yeah, they have to warn you. The gas over there is $2.46, and the one over there is $2.46 for unleaded, regular unleaded. Anyway, but I did it. I said, do I need to watch for anything because of the dye? He said, no. He said, you would have already processed through your lungs. You would have already breathed. If you had any reaction, you would have already had it. Oh, okay. Sounds good to me, so I don't worry about it. But I don't know. It was a lot. And this thing is all crooked and I can't fix it right. Haven't been able to fix it right. Ever. Ever. Now, I don't know how many years ago it was that you can't have, they changed it to where you can't have mounts hanging on the windshield. So this has to be on the dashboard. And the dashboard really doesn't have a good place for a mount at all. Oh, you're going to pull that in front of me and... Yep. Anyway, I haven't eaten. It's 4:23. I had a late brunch, so it was kind of late, but still. Yeah. Anyway, the combination of the bursitis, if that's what it is, and the backache all straight across the back, man, it was rough. I had to lay on my side, and then he tried to do one when I was laying on my back. And I said, I can't do it. He said, well, that we can do it on the side again. So that would be a little extra. So yeah, I'm just ready to be home and get something to eat. Hopefully. Adam is at home. I'm going to call him and see if he'll put something on to eat. So, okay, I called Adam and then he said he wasn't going to cook anything because he was cleaning up. He's older than I am. And he's just retired how many months ago? I don't know. And by the end of the conversation, he said, no, you just come on home. So I said, I'm going to go get me something. I just couldn't figure out what. And I don't, because everything is so much sodium. There's carbohydrates, but the sodium is so bad. These restaurants, my goodness, like sometimes a hamburger is like right at 100% of the sodium you need in whatever they call that, in the daily, not need, or what do they call it, the daily, whatever. 100%, like right at 100%. One little burger or something like that. It's like crazy, or whatever it is. But then he said he'll cook it, so I didn't ask him again because I'm just too hungry. I mean, it's 4:35 now, and I gotta go home, do my medicines, take my medicines. I had to put them off because of this. I gotta get better at planning on what time the appointments are. I used to always want to do them first thing in the morning. Now it's hard for me to sleep at night, so I don't do anything in the morning. But I take medicine so many times a day. One of them is 4 times a day, and they have to be apart from one another. So it's not easy. Some of the medicines are like 12 hours apart. Then I take these supplements too. Yeah, a lot of work. Now, there's no set schedule. I'm an independent contractor, so whenever I can, I do. Like that. And the problem is because of the medicines, yeah, I need to redo it now because of the medicines. And I have to see when am I going to be working, at what times, try to put myself on something like a schedule. It's not easy because like if it rains or something, bad weather, inclement weather, I'm not going to do real windy. We're here in north of Dallas, lots of wind and rain, no way. I have brand new tires and I'm still saying no way. And I've been driving for 46 years. I'm saying no way. If it's raining. It's not me I don't trust. So, oh my. And anyway. But anyway, I bought some taco meat. Bought it at Fiesta store, which is mainly people who shop there mainly are Hispanics. And the meat, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's for tacos. And okay, you don't get this lane. This is for us, not for you. But you're gonna go and you're gonna, yep, sure enough. You missed the one that was going down the road, and when I was talking to Adam, you missed. All of you missed. It was so bad. It was so scary. This guy weaving like that, kind of, in a big black SUV, an older one. It was weird looking. And the whole thing, the way that they were driving and all. And then they got to a school zone, and they ended that. They didn't get any further. Really. Seriously didn't. But it was scary. I mean, I was afraid for all the people. I was hanging back. I wasn't about to be around it. You know, whether they were high or just thought that they owned the road. Who knows? High, drunk, whatever. But Adam said, lay on your horn, lay on your horn. It's not in front of me. It's in front of the one in front of me. You know, weaving in and out though. The way that some people drive, seriously. Seriously. You know. Especially in school zones, I've noticed lately. But I go on the same kind of thing, the same kind of rant. Because it's the same things that happen over and over and over. Seriously, lather, rinse, repeat. People driving bad in school zone, people driving tailgating. Not necessarily me. I'm seeing it happen, weaving in and out. I wave at them as I pass them by at the light. I actually do. I really do. I said, wait, bye-bye, bye-bye. You did all that weaving in and out and causing all that possible danger to yourself and whomever else. And you don't get any further. We're passing you by. Stupid people. Stupid people. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll talk to y'all in another video.